instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod. Well, here we go, folks. Another episode of Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod, brought to you by TaylorMade with Stealth. They have pushed past the limits of titanium and introduced the world to carbon wood age. So how far are they willing to take it? Well, let me tell you, way past far and into forgiveness. Introducing the all-new Stealth 2 Plus, combining the elements of speed and forgiveness to unlock forgiveness. Visit TaylorMadeGolf.ca to learn more. Before we get started there, just make sure that you are following us across all social media networks, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts to get these audio versions of the podcast. And we really do encourage you to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Like us and click the notification bell to make sure you never miss a single episode. Content, like daily content. The Ask Flagstick is getting very popular on there. We'll have some instruction up there soon. Contests are going to begin. Finally got my product is on the way. Woohoo. From Cleveland and Srixon as well. So as well, we'll have some TaylorMade product in there. So lots of good stuff for you to win.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Also,
yes,
not only follow us, share. If you've got golf friends,
are you
let
selfish?
them know. Yeah, exactly.
Share.
That's a lot of people. That's how they're talking to me and saying that's how they hear. Friends are hearing the podcast and saying, hey, you know what? Got a little bit of a regional bent, obviously got some Canadian content, got some great guests, and they're sharing with their friends, their golf buddies, and saying, hey, you know what? You've got some time in the car, you're spending some extra time on YouTube. Just share it with them, and we appreciate that.
And we totally understand, because I have had some people say, I love the podcast, but and it'd be cool to watch you guys chatter back and forth, but it's hard to watch the podcast on YouTube. I totally get that. And it doesn't matter where you can watch it if you want. You can listen to it if you like. We encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, not just because of the podcast, but because of the other stuff that we put on the YouTube channel. So it's kind of a combination of everything. And last I checked, you don't have to listen or watch the whole podcast in one fell swoop. You can watch it in 10-minute increments if you want.
I don't know about you as far as habits are concerned. I mean, I watch a fair bit of YouTube. Sometimes I just, I watch part of a video and stop and then, go back and whatever. Unfortunately, people, we're not a 5-minute show. That's just the way it is.
No, we got too much to talk about.
Yeah.
We like hearing ourselves talk.
Some people do, maybe.
It's crazy.
What do we got going on today?
Today is kind of today could be a technical day.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
I don't know. We'll leave it at that one today.
I
don't know what today is going to bring. It was raining this morning when
did you guys not get frost
yesterday
up in Ottawa? For people that don't know or are not aware, Jeff is in our corporate headquarters in Ottawa, and I am down in Kingston, Ontario. That way we can cover the region as it is. So occasionally we have quite different weather. Jeff's snow tends to last a little bit longer, tends to get a little bit hotter in the summer. I get the cool breezes by the lake. So when I'm asking him about frost, it's because he's north of me. There we go.
I don't recall. Maybe there was frost that morning. I mean, I'm up early.
There was a warning.
I'm up early. So it's not like, you didn't see the frost because you just got out of bed at 11. No, I'm up pretty early in the morning, people. And I didn't really notice any frost. So, I mean, maybe there was.
But... I saw a couple of frost delays posted by a couple of golf courses, which I should say that is a great way to make use of your social media for golf courses. Again, constant updates, different things that you're doing, real-time stuff. That's a great way to do it. So kudos to those golf courses that are making use of their social media now to get out things like frost delays.
Yes, indeed. Lots of good ways to use social media. It doesn't just have to be about spreading rumors and posting memes.
Yes.
Okay, look it. We do have a great show lined up for everybody this week, as we always do. On the front nine, we're going to get the reaction. We're going to talk about the reaction to the return of the Flagstick Shootout.
Yeah,
which has been gone for a while and now is back. So we'll talk a little bit about the reaction, and from that, we're gonna play a game of this or that. I'm not gonna get into describing what this or that is, but it seems from what I've looked ahead at our show notes to see what it's all about, it seems like it's certainly going to be an interesting conversation.
Should be fun. It should be fun.
You know, we do like to try to do a little bit of fun stuff. That's on the front nine, as well as update you on a few little tidbits of news. On the back nine, we're going to play an interview that Scott did with Golf Canada CEO Laurence Applebaum recently. Really good interview. I'm going to say that. I say that after every time we play an interview, I say that was a really good interview, but this was a really good interview. And Laurence is a very interesting person, a very smart guy. Met him on a number of occasions myself. You know him a lot better than I do, but great interview. I think everybody will really enjoy the conversation and some of the things that Laurence had to say. So we're going to do that on the back nine, but as always, you can't play the back before you play. Well, that's stupid. You can play the back nine before the front nine.
Sure, you can.
We're not going to. We're like to do things in sequence. So scratch that. We're going to hit the front nine first anyway. Presented by Metcalf Golf Club, a natural setting, a pleasant challenge. Golf season is here. Do not wait. Save now on all your golf this season. Buy a membership or get on a wait list for a membership. Join a league or purchase some game packs. Game packs are an awesome way to save some bucks on your golf all year long. Get those game packs and get ready to hit the first tee this season. Visit metcalfgolf.com to shop now. All right, let's just dive into the front nine a little bit with some news items out of the way and some things that have been going on. The OVGA Junior Spring Classic, sponsored by the Optimist Club of Nepean, was last weekend at the Meadows Golf and Country Club, not too far away from our corporate head office. Scott, what happened out there? I mean, and there's a lot of divisions in this Optimist event. So
yeah, it was you know what, here's the thing. Tournament season's here. You know, a lot of golf courses are just getting open, I should say. I even had an email last night about one course that was just getting open today. Hammond was getting open today. So the course opening calendar is still valid. There's still a few golf courses, just some stragglers getting open, but we've already got some tournaments starting to happen here. So at the Meadows, I guess you know, the biggest highlight, and thanks to Jim Davidson from the OVGA, from their junior coordinator, getting all this information to us. Their team was great, but the big highlight was Chase Jerome, who plays out of the Royal Ottawa. He actually had a hole-in-one on the number 7 East course in the final round, and he's just 13, and he actually played up a division, shot 144 even par for the 2 days, took the juvenile boys title and the overall boys title. So that's pretty impressive for Chase. On top of that, our other winners were Yauri Zhu. I should really try to pronounce this properly and find out exactly the right pronunciation.
I think that's right,
because I think it is, but I'm going to find out from them, because this is a constant. They're playing very, very well, and I need to know their name. At least I know how to spell it. One out of the Ottawa Hunt won the junior boys. Landon Von Loon of Upper Canada won the Bantam boys. Jack Sample of Rivermead won the Pee Wee boys. Mackenzie Cloutier of La Blainvilliers won the junior and overall girls. Xinyang Zhao from Rivermead won the juvenile girls after a one-hole playoff. Amelia McFarland of Riverbend won the Bantam girls, and Florence Ho of Ottawa Hunt won the Pee Wee girls. So congratulations to all the winners, and congratulations as well to the OVGA in getting their junior tournament season off to a great start.
Speaking of junior tournament season, highlight of the junior tournament season, if you will, the Loyalist Junior Showcase is coming up this weekend. Yeah, as we're recording this on a Thursday, it's this weekend. The Loyalist Junior Showcase at the Loyalist Golf and Country Club down near Kingston and Bath area. Yes, we're very happy to be a sponsor of that event this year, and it's been going on for quite some time. They run an amazing junior tournament down there, a very good competitive tournament, but also a very good introductory tournament for junior golfers. So, because I know Brandon did play in it one year. My youngest son Brandon played in it one year, had a great time. Very accommodating to the younger kids, and very competitive for the older ones.
Yeah, a wide range of golfers here. I just saw the tee sheet today. Really goes from golfers who've never played tournaments before to experienced players who play in provincial championships. So it's a wide range. 61 players I think I saw on the sheet. I dropped by there on Monday. You so generously donated some head covers for all the kids in the field, which they totally appreciated. And the event's getting some good support from TaylorMade and Ping as well. Drop by, saw Jeff and Austin, Jeff James and Austin James, the two professionals there. They're ready to go. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to have a good field out here. Practice rounds are tomorrow on Friday, and then the tournament rounds are Saturday and Sunday. So good luck to all the players there playing in the junior showcase.
Now, a familiar name, a familiar face in the news from the hockey world, but hockey to golf.
Yeah.
Ottawa Senators Claude Giroux
Yep.
was named the honorary chair and has received a sponsor's exemption to participate in this summer's PGA Tour Canada Canadian Commissionaires Ottawa Open, the inaugural Ottawa Open. And Claude Giroux, better known for setting up and scoring goals, also a very good golfer, for those that don't know, is going to be participating at least Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe he drops a whole whack of birdies and makes it through till the weekend. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, there's obviously there's a trend of NHL players taking part, going back, Eagle Creek Classic back in the days.
Yeah,
I mean, Grant Fuhr obviously played in that. Shout out to Grant Fuhr, who is a ardent follower of ours on Twitter. Go back and forth with him a fair bit. He loves his golf. But yeah, Claude, who's played 1,100 games in the NHL. I guess most people would maybe be familiar with him related to golf from his injury 10 years ago when he was playing and broke a shaft, and it actually stuck him in his hand, and he was out 5-6 weeks. He had surgery. That's why a lot of people would affiliate Claude Giroux with golf. But yeah, you know what? Obviously he's a face in the community. Spent a lot of time here, obviously developing as a junior hockey player, and then obviously now with the NHL, and lives in Canada. So yeah, that's going to bring some profile.
I could certainly relate to breaking a shaft in the middle of a swing.
Yeah, but his didn't hit him in the head.
No, I think he would have rather it did.
Yeah, probably. You wouldn't
stick you in the hand. I mean,
no need.
I'd rather take the smack in the melon, maybe a mild concussion out of that. Nothing too serious.
Yeah, actually, I've got one more ad here, not in the notes for a news standpoint. The East Coast Pro Tour is actually in the area this week. They're actually, as we record this, they're playing the second and final round at Black Bear Ridge for the new Quinty Classic.
Okay,
So just follow us if you want to see the updates on that. But I think the leader Freddie D'Angelo was 4 under through round 1. If you looked at the scores, you would definitely see that Blackberry is showing its teeth. There's a lot of fine players in there, including like a Drew Nesbitt who won on the PGA Tour LA. Lots of players with Canadian Tour experience. And there's not many that are under par. So should wrap up nicely today. And then less than 2 weeks, I guess 2 weeks from now, just after the shootout, which we'll get to shortly. The Toronto Players Tour is in the Quinty region. They're playing an event at Trillium Wood. So cool to see the smaller tours heading into this region. And I know the Toronto Players Tour has got to stop, I believe, at Greensmere this year. I'll get the date for that, and we'll talk about that on a future podcast.
Cool. So first off, the Flagstick Open is, I guess we're a little over a week away now.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're ready to go. It's funny. It's like, we are getting that. It is that time now, 2 weeks out, as always. We get some cancellations. The wait list starts to drain a little bit. Those on the wait list are excited because they're getting in. those that have to cancel are disappointed because
I saw Matt Horton the other day, and I was like,
okay.
"Hey, I think you're close on the list." He's like, "I got in," and he was all excited. So,
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's always exciting that guys that really want, because the guys are emailing. There's guys on the waiting list that just sit on the waiting list and wait.
yeah,
And you know, they're very patient about it, and they might be way down. Guys that are really wanting to get in that are emailing me all the time saying, you know, have I moved up the list? Have I moved up? Because we don't really talk
right.
about who's getting in and the
Yeah,
wait list and who's canceling. But there's been about half a dozen cancellations or withdrawals, I guess we'll call them.
yeah,
And that just opens up the door for the very
yep,
long wait list to be somewhat depleted, which we're quite happy and fine to do.
yeah.
Talked to Jerry Bauer, who's taken over for Rich McLean as the head rules official, and he's going to be going out next Friday to paint lines
Mm-hmm.
on the golf course. So that's going to be getting done. Setup we'll probably start doing next on Friday night. I would think maybe Saturday morning. We'll see. It's probably Friday night just because there's a lot of
Sure.
goodies that have to be um, displayed.
Transported. Yes.
All the product is here, all the prizing is here, all the registration gifting is here. I can tell you that the registration gift is going to include they call a tailor-made players backpack,
Yep.
which is a little smaller than your typical big school bag. It's a smaller backpack, but there'll be an Adidas golf shirt in there, an Adidas cap, really cool cap. And sort of a little different with the golf balls this year. We're going to be providing sort of a sampling of multiple
Models.
tailor-made brand golf balls as opposed to just a dozen TP5s
Nice.
or a dozen
Yep.
TP5Xs. There'll be a little bit of everything that they can pick from to make up a dozen. Because we wanted to kind of expose them to all different types
Products.
of brands to try
Yeah.
out.
So a big shout out there to TaylorMade and Adidas for their continual support of this event.
It's huge.
Yeah, their teams are quite excited about it. It's important to them to reach out into the community and reach these players, especially the ones that are playing in competitions. So we'll call them, I won't call them serious golfers, but we're talking committed golfers, ones that really
Yeah.
play the game, really enjoy the game, and obviously, without sponsors, it would be difficult to run
No.
the events that we do for sure.
It would be like, honestly, I'm not going to say that it would be impossible, but
No, but
you
it makes
can't
it
you,
much
you
easier.
just can't provide the kind of things that we provide. I mean, it just wouldn't tournaments wouldn't look like this because it would
No,
cost way too much money to run.
yeah,
If you had to provide this kind of registration gifting and this kind of prizing at this kind of venue with this kind of meal, like this whole kind of experience that comes with the Flagstick Shootout and what happened
and the
with the two
Flagstick
ball
Open, sure,
and what's
yep,
coming with the Flagstick Shootout in the summer. We need the sponsors.
hmm
And to be able to do that, and we're very fortunate that we've got really, really good partners with our events, and we're able to provide that for the players.
yeah.
So yeah, it's coming. The draw will be probably next midweek next week.
That's always the next question. That's the DMs I get
Yeah,
all
and then
week.
it'll
When's the
change
draw?
about
When's the draw? When's the draw?
100 times after I
Yeah.
make the initial draw. Some requests have been put in for the Saturday round, which we usually try to accommodate for traveling
Yep.
and whatnot in round one. Round two, all bets are off. It's all by score, by flight. So
Yeah.
you got no choice. You play with who you play with. Okay, so that's ready to go. Looking forward to it.
And
The
Shootout,
Flagstick
we announced
Shootout.
it. Flagstick Doctor Shootout obviously announced it last week,
Yes.
and immediately people are like, "Yes, it's back."
Yes. And it's going to be judging from what I've seen, I mean, we're gonna have a bit of a conundrum because
Selections.
we're only allowing 72 players in that field.
Yeah.
So it's a limited field event. It is an elite field tournament. So I'm not discouraging somebody who's a 15 or 20 handicap from signing up,
No.
but realistically,
Generally, it's better
it's a
players for
better
sure.
player tournament,
Yeah.
And we want to make it highly competitive.
Yeah.
No flights, no divisions, no handicaps, indexes. It's just
Straight play.
straight up. You go, you play. Smuggler's Glen. back where it all began.
Yep.
And, the
Again,
shootout that we're
good support as well. Obviously, Cobra Puma Golf
yeah,
Canada.
we've got great support there, as well as some secondary sponsors, which we will be announcing shortly as well, that we're, a couple of
Yep.
local sponsors to kind of step in. And we're excited about that because, all the sponsorship helps because it helps us provide, again, a really
it also,
cool experience.
but it also helps to make the event affordable as well. We have many people that obviously, when they look at what they get for the entry fee, which is $250 plus taxes and processing fee, people looking at it going, man, I'm getting like $500 of value for that. But that happens because of our efforts to do things, bring sponsors in, all the different things to make it achievable that way. I should say it was interesting to see like messages right away, like Noah Steele, who's a winner obviously on the Canadian tour, saying, hey, I'm glad to see this is back. Curtis Barkley, who won the event in 2015, who's currently competing at the G4D the Open over in Woburn, England this week. He took the time to say, hey, save a spot for me
past champion
on Instagram or whatever. And obviously things like being a past champion will help your chances as far as getting in the field for sure. And
Joe Matthews reached out to me too. Joe's a member at Smugglers.
Yeah,
and
another past
he's
champion.
a past champion as well.
Yeah, I did see him last week. He stopped me on the range and said, hey, is there any accommodation for past champions? I'm like, talk to the tournament director.
He did reach out to me. I'm like, yeah, the accommodation is that there's probably a pretty good chance you're going to get in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, we're excited about that, to have that event back.
You were mentioning the shootout just before.
Well, I think in the past, what we always did is on the Saturday night, we always did what we called the shootout. And it was basically like a play down tournament style, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 balls closest to the pin kind of thing. And for one prize. And it was always on the Saturday night. It was always the leader of the tournament.
10th tee.
Yeah. Off the 10th tee. So it was the leader of the tournament plus the
next
top
3 players.
The next 3 players, and then the closest to the pins, throughout that day, and to make up our field for the shootout. And then we just get up there and start banging balls, and closest to the pin moves on to the next round kind of thing. And so it adds a little element of fun on the Saturday night. Once once everybody's finished and had their meal, then they kind of go back out to the 10th tee, and everybody walks up there and hovers around and cheers them on. So just a little fun thing that we do. But we're looking forward to having that back as well.
Yeah. So if people want to, if people want to apply, flagstickshootout.com is where they go. And then you can put in your application there. And then we're hoping to get people in by May 22nd.
Yeah. So the day after the Open is over is when we're going to cut off the registration for the shootout, so we can select the field. So at this point, there isn't an urgency. I'll say to get your name, to get registered and now, but something else could come between now and then. We could announce some players prior. We could say, oh, you know what, we're going to pick 10 people off the existing list and put them and give them invitations to the field. So you might want to get your registration in sooner rather than later. Don't wait until the very last minute to get it in. Show us you want to be there. Get your registration in now. So we're looking forward to that. Should be fun.
All right. Fun. Here we go.
Okay, speaking of fun, Scott McLeod has come up with this little game.
I've played this before on various shows and things like that, or different variations of it, but we'll make it a golf themed variation of it.
This or that.
You got it. 7 questions.
Yeah.
You have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. You have a choice, one or the other. You can't kind of sit on the fence or whatever. You have to say you prefer the one or the other. And we go from there. And then who knows? There might be some discussion related to some of these things. So why don't I ask you?
Okay.
And then I'll follow up and tell you mine. And then we can have a chat about them if it's appropriate, or we just move on to the next question. And for the people that are listening or watching, you know what? think about it for yourself. What would you choose? Drop some comments below on the YouTube channel, or anything. Hit us up on social media and say, hey, I'd prefer this over that, or that's dumb. Whatever you like. These are just things that are kind of taken up.
That's dumb.
Last minute, just came up with these things. So whether they're good or bad, we'll find out. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Bring
All
it.
right. Playing a quick 4-hole loop or a bucket on the range.
Oh, that's an easy one for me. That's
okay,
an easy one for me. It's definitely playing a quick 4-hole loop, because I do it all the time. Across the street with my son Brandon, we do it all the time. After supper, we go over and we play 1, 2, 3, 9 on the 9-hole course, or we play 1, 2, 3, 7, whatever holes are open at the time. We just bang out a quick 4-hole loop. I would rather do that all day long than go to the driving range.
I'm with you on that. I'm actually quite jealous. Sean Joyce, he used to be a pro in the Ottawa region.
Yes.
He is at Mill River and Eagles Glen down in PEI. He's director of golf for both those facilities. And at Mill River, they have a 3-hole loop, which that's just the ultimate, to be able to just go out there and play those 3 holes over and over again. So I'm with you on that one. I like to hit balls at the start of the year, but give me a chance to play 4 holes in the same time, and I'm there for that.
Yeah.
So all right, number 2, you got to choose a super hard golf course from 7,500 yards, or an easy test, but you have to play it from 5,400 yards.
Well, this one depends. But I have done the first scenario a number of times.
Oh, sure.
Particularly with you when we're on road trips, where we will take an iconic golf course
and play all of it,
such as Kiowa Island.
Yeah,
and we will jam it back. Done it at Pinehurst, we've done it a number of times where we'll take an iconic venue and play it as far back as possible and beat the living crap out of me. If I had a choice, I think, gosh, that's a tough one.
That's good. That's what it's supposed to be.
I think I do it from the hard.
Really?
I think I'd play it all the way back. With a super hard golf course, I'd play it all the way back and just see how good I could do.
Yeah. On a daily basis for me, you know what? I want to have fun.
Give me. Well, he doesn't say daily basis. It just says
hey. Just one or the other. One or the other. You made your choice.
If it's every day I'm doing it, I'm not going to play it from all the way back.
I'm just saying, for me, if I was given that choice,
I
would just play from the front, try to make as many birdies as possible, enjoy that. If that's my choice, one or the other, beating myself up from the back tees, I've done that lots. So
yeah, you hit it 300. I don't think you're beating yourself up all that much.
Okay. All right, number 3, aerated greens, and the rest of the course is mint, but a golf course with very little grass but perfect greens. This or that.
Oh, I want perfect greens. I'll play off of dirt. I don't care.
I mean, so with you.
Off the tee, you can put it on a tee, and in the fairway, I'm sure you can roll it around enough places to find some decent grass. That said, if you're hitting it, the ball's going to roll like a son of a gun in the dirt fairways. And you're going to be hitting short irons anyway, and I'd rather have the tight lies than the short irons anyway, so I can spin the crap out of it on those perfect greens.
There you go. Exactly. I'm with you on that one. I mean, if I've got, you're going to play most of your shots with a putter in your hand, or a lot of your shots. So yeah, perfect greens every time for me.
Yeah.
All right, this or that. Watch a junior golf tournament or a minor league mini tour event. That would be a professional event.
And by mini tour, we're talking just like
a minor league tour in Florida, or just.
So we're not talking like Corn Ferry stuff.
Not even Canadian tour. We're talking local, regionalized.
We're talking Moonlight Tour kind of.
Even
exactly. Like the East, the
ECPT or whatever the case may be. The old days. What was the Lynx Tour? What was the one that was the Eastern Ontario?
Eastern Lynx.
Eastern Lynx Tour.
I think I'm going to go mini tour on this one. I mean, I'm all for junior golf, but I'm probably not going to go out and watch. No, that's a tough one.
Did I say they were going to be easy?
I don't know. Combination of both.
Oh no! I told you, no fence in it.
Okay, I'm gonna take the mini tour. I think
All right.
I think if I'm gonna go watch somebody play golf, I'm gonna watch some up and coming professionals that I may see on the PGA Tour at some time in the near future, than to watch junior golfers that have a little ways to go. I'll watch the junior golfers when they get to the minor league tours.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to go junior tour. I just like to see the up and coming developing players, the smiles on the faces, the potential for the future. I mean, obviously that exists a little bit with the other minor league mini tour stuff, but my experience in seeing kind of both those ends of the events, sometimes those minor league tour events, those guys are not having, or girls are not having that much fun. A lot of the times, tends to be cases of that here and there, but this or that, I'll take the junior golf tournament. All right, number 5, play a round of golf with no woods or no putter.
Oh, I'll play with no woods.
All right.
I mean, I've done the one club challenge stuff before and whatnot, but I could definitely play if I had my druthers whether I would want to play with no putter or no woods.
Well, that's the question.
Yeah, I think I'd sooner play with no woods.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Don't know where that question came from.
I don't know why I would rather play with no woods. I'd really not rather play with neither, but
just throw the ball.
Yeah, no woods.
All right, I'll go with you on that one. All right, 2 more left. This or that. Play an 18-hole round and spend a day with a PGA Tour player or a pro athlete from another sport.
I'm gonna go with play or with a pro athlete from another sport. Yeah, I'm going to. I feel, number one, from a standpoint of playing with a PGA Tour player, I would feel like I'm being judged all day long. Like I really would. Like, I mean, I'm a decent golfer, or I'd feel like I have to do something spectacular to make myself look good at golf playing with a professional golfer. Whereas,
interesting,
I'd rather play a round of golf with like Connor McDavid, or Wayne Gretzky, even though he's a bit of a golfer, but he's not that good.
No, I've seen that golf swing live. It's like a rusty gate.
Yeah, I think definitely a pro athlete from another sport would be more fun.
Yeah, I'll go with you with that. I've done both. No offense to PGA Tour players, but get to see them all the time. So not as exciting. Whereas pro athletes and having an opportunity to play with them, play with some hockey players, play with some tennis players, play with some baseball players. Always interesting to get to know them. Also to get to know what's their golf origin story and why they got connected to the game of golf as it is, which tends to be a little bit more obvious with the PGA Tour player or an LPGA Tour player, for an example. All right, last one here for this or that. For the rest of your golf career, have at least 2 drives out of bounds per round, or you 3-putt 4 greens every round. So basically the question is, which would frustrate you more, really? Hitting a couple out of bounds every round, or having 4 3-putt greens? They pretty much amount to the same strokes. It's basically a decision of which frustrates you more.
I'll take the 3 putts.
Okay, all right.
I honestly, I cannot stand hitting balls out of bounds. I need to be if I'm in play, and at least on the other holes that I'm not 3-putting, I feel like I can probably make a birdie if I'm playing from the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
So they may amount to the same score on that particular hole, but I don't want to hit the ball out of bounds. No, I'll take the 3 putts.
I'm the same with you. I find that more frustrating. Obviously, both scenarios can happen a fair bit. Once you get out of a certain range on putting, obviously the percentage of the chances of 3-putting does go up for sure. But I would definitely for sure find the out of bounds stuff a little bit more frustrating. So, all right, especially if it's for the rest of our golf.
Exactly. In the rest of my career. Yeah, I can't deal with out of bounds golf.
All right, this or that.
Awesome. Like this and that.
Yeah.
We got to do that. We got to do that again. We will do that again. I like that. That was fun. Right. But that said, the front 9 is over.
Yep.
This and that completes it, and we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to play the interview that Scott did with Laurence Applebaum, the CEO of Golf Canada. So stick with us. You're listening to the Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Otter and Scott McLeod. We will be right back.
That's far.
So much forgiveness. Wait, did you say forgiveness like far or forgiveness like forgiveness? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
I'm hearing far.
Forgiveness. Like forgiveness. Forgiveness? Forgiveness.
I'm still hearing far, but whatever.
Introducing Stealth 2 with more carbon for more forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Just hit it.
Yes, we are back here on the Flagstick Podcast, and jumping into our back nine, which is presented this week again by Greensmere Golf and Country Club. Save 40% on all daily green fee rates with FlexPass, which also includes 6-day advance booking for only $425 plus tax. Visit greensmere.com for more info. Okay, Scott, you had the opportunity to sit down with Golf Canada CEO Laurence Applebaum and to talk about the upcoming RBC Canadian Open. So you want to set the interview up, and then we'll do this.
Yeah, we sat down at Oakdale, which was the host site for this RBC Canadian Open this year and 2026. This is during the RBC Canadian Open Media Day, and discussed basically, what they're looking forward to as far as this event, anticipation for it, things that are involved with it, how they're planning to improve on it or make it better, because obviously 2022 was historic as far as how everything played out, returning back after, being non-existent during the pandemic. But yeah, this is a great interview with Laurence. Good insight here. Known Laurence a long time. He actually mentions his first day on the job as the CEO, and we might have played golf that day. So yeah, I think people will enjoy the interview, and just to hear what he's got to say about the upcoming RBC Canadian Open.
All right, here we go. Scott McLeod with Golf Canada CEO Laurence Applebaum.
All right, so we're here at Oakdale at the RBC Canadian Open Media Day with Laurence Applebaum. Laurence, first off, always exciting to have these media days and see a lot of people come out. What are your first thoughts as far as, Oakdale? And we're 4 years in, I guess, from the first site visit. So what's your expectations and excitement level as far as having the RBC Canadian Open here?
Well, first, I always have to talk about the excitement of Media Day, because the first media day that I ever participated in I got to play with you.
That's right.
I remember this very well. I'm like, if I don't hit this first ball down the middle, it will stay with me forever. So that's like one of my favorite memories of all time.
You were pretty successful, so that's okay.
Then a couple chips and chunks later, and not so good. But RBC Canadian Open 2023 Media Day, it was amazing to launch and introduce this golf course to so many people who had never played it before. This new golf course that's going to be 100 years in 2026. And what stood out for me was just over a month heading into the championship. The course has got some real teeth to it. It's really growing in a really nice way. And I think it's going to be a great test of golf for the PGA Tour.
There was such a great level of success last year at St. George's. It was just a tremendous return for the RBC Canadian Open. It's hard to surpass that, but apparently, based on everything we're seeing so far from a metrics and so forth, we are. It's going to be. What's your thoughts as far as building on that success from last year?
Well, I think we found a recipe that has worked for our sports fan and fans in general. We bring world caliber championship golf to our country. We mix in some amazing food, some amazing drinks. RBCX and our friends at RBC bring in this incredible concert series. So Black Eyed Peas on Friday night, Alanis Morissette on Saturday night, and it's kind of the start of summer. I mean, for us, it's really been a big celebration, and I think that I think about it. We put ourselves, our whole team does an amazing job thinking about what the fan wants, the golf fan, the sports fan, the entertainment fan, and make it really attractive. And we're very lucky. In 2022, we had an outstanding championships, and we're we're on the right path to exceeding that substantially for 2023.
Yeah, and I think, you mentioned it there. It's not about the hardcore golf fan. I mean, before, if we look at it years ago, the people that would come out to the RBC Canadian Open were just diehard golfers, the people that wanted to see the best players in the world tee it up. Now it's a cross-section of Canada that is showing up, that is being welcomed. And, part of that is there's a difference in the demographic of who's playing the game, but part of it is who you're embracing through the different things that you're providing as well. Obviously, you guys were thinking about that strategy years ago. How has that evolved? What are your thoughts on that and how successful that's been?
I think it's such a great question, Scott, because I look back at the tapes. Sometimes they'll be running an RBC Canadian Open from 2015 or 2016, and I look at the crowd, and it tends to be pretty uniform.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, things started to change. Golf started to get on a growth path. And then in 2019, we were in Hamilton Golf Club, and we're hosting Florida Georgia Line, and I see not only Titleist hats, but I see cowboy hats out there. And then we had this concert, and you start to feel this change. And then last year we have, Flo Rida, Maroon 5, and it's introducing people to golf. And also an incredible number of people that we know who play golf have never seen professional golf. And I think it's a spectacle that people don't get a chance to see. This flowing 5 miles of front row seats around a golf course, and when we bring people to live events, I would say almost any sport event it's true for, but in particular with golf, and we see what kind of athletes they are, when we see what it looks like for Corey Connors to hit a golf ball, or on the women's side to see Brooke Henderson hit a golf ball, it makes people fans. And so a bit of that excitement, younger people, more women, a more diverse community, more the face of Canada is becoming the face of golf.
And we're seeing some expansions as well when you look at, corporate partners who are trying to be involved. You've got 25 partners that are coming to the table here at Oakdale. We're seeing expanded hospitality, your 1904 club. We're seeing the grandstands, which are really neat, and you can say the story of that itself as far as what you guys are doing around 18 and the facilities that you have there. It really is taking on a festival atmosphere. How is that sort of corporate relationship and the engagement with the community and the corporate community and being involved with Golf Canada? How does that, kind of feel for you guys?
Yeah, I think that when people were on site for the first time, and I think that 40 days out or however many days we have right now, we're all surprised at how built up it looks, and you realize that it's been building since November. Actually, is when they put the first footprint down. But these grandstands that we talk about in 18, on one side we have the first double-decker grandstand that has ever happened in a golf event and almost any other sports event in Canada on an outdoor basis. So it looks immense. It's sold out and looks incredible. But I think one thing that's really important for the golf fan is that there's just lots going on. There's something to see or do pretty much in every area of the golf course, whether that's the fairway, which is the food fair, F-A-R-E, which has all these great options for food and drink, the Sirius XM satellite soundstage, which we've got some concerts going all week. But we try and also have things for kids. We've got a first tee execution, which is kids getting to try golf for the first time, and our program that helps bring more kids and more people into golf. So it's so much like, let's make it fun for people. Let's make them enjoy the game. It's an amazing sport once you get people experiencing and being part of inside of the game.
Let's talk a little bit about this club itself. Obviously, it's iconic in Canada from a golf sense of it, but there's a lot more to it. This is a really family-based club right in the heart of Toronto. And when we say the heart, I mean it is the heart. And, but why is it special to have it here, especially, 2023 and 2026, and the fact that the club was the one that came forward and said, hey, we're the ones that want to be involved. What's that make you guys feel like that a club like this wants to host RBC Canadian Open?
Well, I think it's a nice story that we had a staff member who worked here as an assistant pro, a guy by the name of Ryan Logan, who you know. And Ryan was assistant pro here at Oakdale. And at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, he had a conversation with two members, one who was on their board of directors, and said, Oakdale's very interested in talking about an RBC Canadian Open in the future. And I knew it, but not many people within our group knew it very well. So we started exploring it together, saw the golf course, resaw the whole footprint that they have. It's one of the most impressive facilities in totality. 27 holes and a great driving range, a great clubhouse. And as you said, the specialness of this is one of the rare clubs in Canada and North America, I would say, that is a family-based membership. So you don't just come as a single, you don't just come as a male member, a female member. You come as a family member. And there's a tremendous sense of family, of community, of culture. And it is in a really interesting area in terms of it's got great transportation. It will be very accessible to a lot of people, but it's also a club that has welcomed the community surrounding it into being part of Oakdale. And so that's really been important for us, is that there's a give to the community, that there's a legacy, and that was very important to the Oakdale membership, is what's the legacy of this golf tournament? We'll be here in 2023, and as I've said, we'll be back in 2026, and we want to have some meaningful impact to the community that will be long lasting.
That's great to see. There was a few announcements today as far as players in the field. Obviously, some strong names there. Obviously, we have the Team RBC guys. Your Rory McIlroys, but Matt Fitzpatrick, who also called in today. Shane Lowry, just Tommy Fleetwood. How excited are you about seeing those players here?
Yeah, each of them have a great story. Last time I saw Tommy Fleetwood was when we used to have the event after the British Open, and Tommy flew back on the same plane as me with his 3 kids in his arms on an overnight flight. And I'm like, how's this guy going to function the next day? He has 3 kids, and I'm just trying to catch up on sleep. Shane Lowry has been a big stalwart of the RBC Canadian Open. He's such a tremendous talent, and he's so connected, really approachable guy, and very connected with the Irish community, and people seem to really love Shane. And then Matthew Fitzpatrick, who obviously that week, he mentioned it in the presser today, is he tied for 10th, a quiet tied for 10th, I would say, but then followed up with a U.S. Open win, wins the RBC Heritage, and now he's going to be back on Canadian soil. And I think he's one of the players that really won in this Netflix full swing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think people got to know Matthew Fitzpatrick. Yeah. It was well documented. He's tracked every single shot he's made since, I think he was 12 or something like that. Yeah. When he played last year, I was on the first tee, welcoming a few people up and hosting a few people, and he walked behind the scorer's table, did a routine with his scorecard, and he said, "Are you part of the tournament?" I said, "Yeah, I'm with Golf Canada." He says, "Can I give you some advice?" I said, "Absolutely." He says, "Can you get better pencils for next year?" I said, "We're going to have better pencils next year." So, Matthew, if you're listening, we're going to have world-class pencils.
I mean, you get feedback from players. That's not the usual feedback you would expect. What's the feedback from, what we have seen? Obviously, last year was tremendous. What did you hear from the players last year after the event was over?
Well, I think it's really interesting to consider the source. And I think that Rory put a capper on the whole week by saying that this was, a legitimate world-class golf course. Obviously, he played super well and won, and so he was feeling really good about everything. But the general sentiment was, it was an amazing track. We play it on world-class properties. They felt that about Hamilton. They felt that about St. George's. I got some very nice compliments about Islington Golf Club as a practice facility. Very nice compliments. But I will go back to the very famous comment of the pro who will not be named, who said, "St. George's is such a good golf course. You guys should play the U.S. Open here." Now, that was attributed to a long time ago, but it still makes me laugh, that comment.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. Well, we really appreciate it. We're looking forward to the tournament here in 40 days now. It'll be less than when this gets published, and we appreciate you coming on today.
Always great to see you, Scotty. Thanks so much for being with us.
Well, as always, great interview. There's some great insight there. I always get excited about the RBC Canadian Open when it goes to some of these venues like Oakdale, when it goes to Hamilton Country Club, and when it was at I think Shaughnessy.
Yep.
Like I like it when it's at Royal Montreal. Like I like it when it goes to these venues. I'm not saying, don't want to say Glen Abbey is not a good golf course, but I like it when it moves around to some of these more historic, old school type golf courses.
Well, that's pretty much what we're going to see now anyways. I mean,
which is exciting. I mean, that's exciting for the players to have it go to those golf courses, because it brings in, like, especially when you watch an RBC Canadian Open when it was at Hamilton Country Club in Ancaster. I mean, that golf course is just extraordinary and can be made really, really hard if they want it to be.
And even better now as far as the the redesign. I mean, the players are the players. They're always going to. I mean, Rory shot 60 there last time, so they're always going to have some great rounds. But it's just a quality test of golf, which will tend to separate the players a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with that, and it's a good interview, Scott.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure people will.
Thanks to Laurence for that one. And
enjoy that. Yes, thank you, Laurence.
Yeah, we've got a few more interviews lined up for future shows. So
now I will say that we will have coming up probably in the next show, maybe the next show or the show after that. Our good friend Kevin Hain is returning to the lesson tee with son Jake. And we're going to have some lesson tee instruction from Kevin on this podcast again. We're not going to do it every week. We're going to do it, a couple here, a couple there, sprinkle them in, rather than ask Kevin to shoot 52 different instruction videos on top of his Tip Tuesdays, on top of doing his radio show, on top of teaching 100 lessons a day. We thought maybe we cut him some slack and just have him do maybe a dozen or so tips for us. And we figured between the two of us, we can probably talk about some other stuff instead once in a while.
Maybe,
maybe do the odd interview with a guy like Laurence Applebaum. So
sure.
Okay. So, a shameless plug, 8th this or that. Okay, here we go. Shameless plug, 8th this or that.
Is this for me to answer, or are you going to answer it yourself?
No, you can try to answer this. Okay, so here it goes.
All right.
Where's my notes? Okay, so would you rather?
Oh boy.
Would you rather score 18 pars in 18 holes, or 9 birdies and 9 bogeys?
Ooh. I think I'd go 18 pars because it's a rare feat. And I think if I'd played 18 holes and made 9 birdies but made 9 bogeys, I'd be thinking about the 9 bogeys too much and not focusing on the 9 birdies. I'd be like, oh man, if I just hadn't made those, I could have been really, really low. So I think I'd take the 18 pars, believe it or not. I'll go Nick Faldo on it.
Okay, so let's do the math on this. 18 pars is even par, right?
Yeah, I know what it results in.
9 birdies and 9 bogeys.
I get it, but it's how you do it.
Is also.
Are you actually writing this down?
Okay, no, listen, I did. Come on, I can do it. Okay, so I respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
Because I believe if I were playing in the fall flagstick 2-ball at the Brockville Country Club,
well, you didn't give me the
18 pars would be 18 points. 9 birdies and 9 bogeys would be 27 points. So I will take the 9 birdies.
Nobody said it was Stableford. This is the spring open for the Flagstick.com PGA of Ottawa tour. I would so if that's the case on June 5th when I play the Marshes,
You'll take the 9 bogeys.
I'll take the 9 bogeys and the 9 birdies.
Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in. But actually,
That's funny.
the flip side of that is it is an interesting this or that. Would you rather
Yeah.
shoot even par by making all pars, or would you rather? Personally, I'll take the 9 birdies. Because I don't care about some feat that 100,000 other people are going to accomplish. If I make 9 birdies, that's 9 birdies.
Yeah,
That's 9 birdies, man.
Yeah,
9 bogeys I can deal with, but if I make 9
Yeah.
birdies and 9 bogeys for an even par round, I'll take that over 18 pars all day long.
Yeah, I've
all day
made
long.
18 pars in a round.
That'd be boring as
that's
hell.
probably why.
Like, I'm sorry, that would
Maybe.
just be.
Maybe.
Would you
Maybe
make
they're-
par? Would you
maybe
make?
maybe the great 18 up and downs. Maybe you missed every green. Maybe it's a spectacular.
That'd be more
spectacular
frustrating if I missed
18
every green
pars.
and had 18 pars.
But a good question. So you know what? If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment.
Yeah,
We'd
please leave a
love to hear
comment.
what you say. Or if you're watching or
Message
listening to
us,
anything else,
text us, email us, whatever you want to do.
tweet at us, whatever. It'd be interesting to hear what people choose. In fact, you know what? I might put that up as a Twitter poll next week. How's that?
Twitter poll. I like it.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, the this or that Twitter poll. Scotty Mac, how are the at the Ask Flagstick questions?
I'm going
It's
quite
pretty
well.
good, eh? Like I've been watching you talk from your car a lot lately.
I was only once. I only did one.
I'm only
from the
hoping
car.
that the car is not moving.
No. I was sitting in the Mallory Town en route when I did the last one. So
Be like a bad Rick Mercer skit there, where you're
Yeah.
tilting sideways. And
well, the
you should
challenging
do that. You should walk with the selfie stick and
Oh no,
and
no.
tilt it
The
sideways.
challenging part for them in some cases is that obviously, they're not the most I get to pick out of the questions, so we try to stay away from super complex ones because really you're trying to do it in under a minute.
Right, exactly.
And obviously it's got to fit into the social media channels and stuff like that, but appreciate everyone sending them in for sure. And the uptake has been pretty good, so kind of once a week, if I get fired up and get some extra inspiration, maybe do more than that, but at least once a week we'll have an Ask Flagstick up on any of our social media channels.
Cool. Not sure what's going to happen next week with the podcast, if we're going to be able to slip it in before the things start going crazy with the
Yeah.
Flagstick Open. There's a possibility we could do a quick little preview show for the Flagstick Open, because by that time we will have the draw probably somewhat finalized and the participants probably somewhat finalized. So maybe we'll do a quick show. It just depends.
A compact
Yeah,
version.
it'll be a small one. There won't be any interviews or anything. So maybe next week's not the best time to be. Well, actually, maybe next week is the best time to launch Kevin's tips, because more of Kevin, less of us.
So there you go. Fill it in, and then
He'll like it. He'll like me to hear that.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll
more
try
of
to
Kevin, less of us.
we'll try to record maybe some interviews with some of the winners and stuff like that. Something we can show on the week
following.
after
Yeah.
as well. So,
Where we'll be able to announce which wonderful victor of the Flagstick Open is being granted an exemption into the Flagstick Shootout.
Yeah.
Amongst other exemptions we may decide to give based on Flagstick Open results. So, haha,
Exactly.
leaving it at
Oh.
that. Okay.
Hint. Get your
Exactly.
application in.
Great. Yeah, please do. Go to flagstickshootout.com. Get your application, your entry in, so that you're considered to be selected as one of the 72 players in that field. It's going to come quick. All right, that's it for us. Thanks to all our sponsors, Metcalf Golf Club, Greensmere Golf and Country Club, and our presenting sponsor, TaylorMade. With Stealth, they have pushed past the limits of titanium, introduced the world to the carbon wood age. So how far are they willing to take it? Way past far and into forgiveness. Introducing the all-new Stealth 2 Plus, combining the elements of speed and forgiveness to unlock that forgiveness. Visit TaylorMadeGolf.ca to learn more. I know you're loving this show. I know you're loving listening to it and watching it when you can. Be sure to follow us across all the social media networks, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us, click that notification bell. Do not miss a single episode. Get your butt over to flagstick.com. Even more amazing golf content delivered there every single day. As always, we do appreciate you tuning in to us. Until next week, I am Jeff Botter.
I'm Scott McLeod.
Always remember, go for the stick.